Yo. What's going on, people? Pre-recorded, bruv. Oh, come on, man. Pre-recorded again. When is this story gonna stop, man? Pre-recorded. How can you pre-record stuff on this game? What's going on, guys? Yeah, today's been an interesting day, to say the least. Beast stew, man. What's going on, bro? ZDC, what's good? Yep, today's a boring day. Very boring day, man. Mad love, Brian K. Nice one, bruv. Keith, bare knuckle boxing, yeah? Tino versus BitBoy. Anyway, gold was interesting. It looks like Forex was the main mover today. And funnily enough, those of you that managed to watch the projections channel, the Forex projection, you would have probably realized a fat return if you had considered the projection on dollar yen, which we'll have a look at in a bit. We'll talk about the 110.600 projection point from last night. We were waiting for that point and she tapped it to the T. And of course, let's see where she's at now. She's at 110.616. So she hit that point and chipped away from it. She actually went lower and hit the 110.539, but we'll have a conversation about that in a bit. But tonight we're switching it up again. All right. We're going to be looking at altcoins. So I'm going to take a break from Bitcoin and Ethereum, but I will always be looking at Bitcoin and Ethereum. So we'll have a look at those in a bit. But for tonight, we're going to look at some of the altcoins, some of the main movers, man. We've seen some big-ass movers today. Alpha, 1 inch, Sushi. Yeah, Cake made a nice little move today. So we're going to have a consideration to those guys once in a little while, because I've neglected the altcoins for a long time. All right. So, who else has got in this room? Steph Muzz, what's good? Yeah, Forex is interesting. Yeah, don't worry. I'm going to go through Bitcoin and Ethereum. All right, don't you worry about that. I'll make sure that happens. Okay, then. So, firstly, let's pull up this part, the star of the show. All right. I'm going to consider Alpha today. Some silly movement by Alpha. Let me flip the charts over for you just a second. Here we are. Who else we got in this room tonight? What's going on? Yes, full screen in just a split second. No, I'm watching no game, man. I'm watching the game of trading. It's not 90 minutes long. Discord, what's going on? No alert on Discord. Oh my god. I don't understand why there's no alert on Discord. Alright, let me just get this shared to Discord, guys. For some reason, it's not actually sharing across the board there. So, let's get this shared over to Twitter as well. Alright then. I don't understand why it's not working. Blame Mike. All you can do is blame Mike. Whenever that happens, blame Mike. Okay then, cool. I've shared that. Got Facebook. Mike, come on, yeah. Blame Mike, man. Blame Mike. I don't understand why it's not done that, but okay, let me see. It might still share in a moment. Alright, but actually, wait. No, it actually hasn't shared it. So, let's roll out and share it. That is unfortunate. Oh, God. Shared it in the wrong place. That's going to take the piss, that is. Oh, God. Sorry about this, guys. We change up the scene, and then this happens. Here we go. All right, let's get to it now. Let's wait for a couple of more people to roll through. What's good? What's good? Okay, then. You got alerted, no worries. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I got to pump the Facebook page, man. I've got to get the Facebook out there. Go. Where are we at with that? Yeah, I've posted that in the Discord. But, you know, you're welcome to join the Facebook page. We've got a page on Facebook and a group. So just type Traders Reality 1 and it's there. And the reason why I've got a 1 at the end of that is because I've already created a Traders Reality, but I deleted it by accident and I can't redeem that username. So it's Traders Reality 1. So go reach out on that basis. So let's have a conversation, guys, about the altcoins. Let me flip this. Get the live webpage over. Happy days. All right, then. Let's go. So, look at that for a monster move by Alpha. And what I'm trying to do with these altcoins, guys, is pretty simple. All right. I'm looking to see what patterns had existed and how we can actually exploit those patterns moving forward. All right. So I'm just going to bring my chart. Actually, no, I'll just leave it there. Okay, then. So the first thing you really want to do in consideration to the hybrid system when you're looking at something completely new, all right, is, let me just remove that there. All right, drop onto the higher time frame. So let's just have a look at the 4-hour time frame and what do we see? Okay, so Alpha has been dropping for quite some time. All right, look at that huge M formation. Looks like a head and shoulders. All right. But she's only come back down to the previous point from when she last made the move to the upside. Okay, so that's really important when you're considering altcoins. Yeah? Altcoins. This must be fun. Look, man, I never actually talk about the altcoins because I'm always going to favor Bitcoin and Ethereum. Okay? But Alpha moves 35%, right? Plus, like, what is that? Could you imagine Bitcoin moving 35%? Boy, everyone will remember that day. But what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to help you guys utilize the hybrid system in relation to the altcoins, because the altcoins, there's a lot of factors that can affect the way price is going to move. So we've got liquidity as one of them, all right? The price itself of the actual coin. All right, if you're trading a coin that's like 0.00006, I mean, don't expect great numbers. Yeah, the liquidity might be there, but the trading, it will be very, very difficult because they can spike price up and down, hit liquidation points, and you can get thrown about. All right, at least when you're trading higher priced coins and you're trading high liquidity coins, you know, the chances of like a 35 or a 50% move by the coin is very minimal unless something great is happening or something bad is happening to the coin itself. All right. So as a rule of thumb, when you find a coin that you're interested in, try and make sure it's reasonably priced. All right. Because you want to deal with something that's got backing. Okay. So here we go. I'll get to that in a sec about Bitcoin. So this is the 4-hour time frame, and you can clearly see that they've been accumulating alpha for quite some time. Now, conventional wisdom will say that it's been selling, but the only way that someone can sell is if someone gives them the opposite end of the contract, and that contract is a buy. So we understand that market makers involved in alpha have been buying. Now, this is the point where they stop. Now, if you look left, you'll see that the last time they started to move price higher, okay, is pretty much the same price that they've now moved away from. Now, of course, there has been some news or some information about alpha that's come out. I haven't actually looked at what information that is. I can only go by what price is doing. Now, you see these big green vector candles. This is a dream come true for anyone that's been following the hybrid system. When we see these vectors, you know it means they're building up some shorts or they're coming out of the zone, but it's unlikely that they're going to be going any lower just yet. They could retrace back down and hit the 200 and bounce away from that point because price is very overextended to the downside. So at what point will the market maker look to try and make his money back on these positions? All right. So then we dive into the 1-hour time frame. Can we determine a cycle? Now, price activity is quite close. Okay, so we can see effectively like a small W formation up here. You got rise level 1, drop. Now this is a rise level 2. Okay, so we're expecting a retrace back down to the 50 EMA. And then price, in essence, should do the following. Where is my path? Let me get the path up. Where is it? No, it's not there. Oh my God. Here it is. Polyline, that's it. No, is it path or polyline? Is it? There you go, yeah. Okay then, cool. So, let me just get rid of that. You can tell I'm new to TradingView. Well, I'm not new to it, but I just don't use it that much. All right. So, happy days. All right, here we go. So, from the principle of the pattern itself, we've got rise up. We're waiting for the retrace. Continuation to the upside to form effectively level 3. And then we've got our pattern. And this is where we would expect them to bring price back up, down, up, set the intention, and form the pattern back up. Okay? So that's coming from this W formation down here, which I'll get lit right now. Rise up level 1, done, come back down, move out of the zone. So that is really what we are projecting with alpha on the basis that they do pull back first. All right, this is off the 1 hour time frame. That's what I'm interested in. I want to see a retrace back down because look, that is just super extended. All right. Use path. Okay, I use path. So we're expecting them now to bring price back down. It has actually come towards the breaking the 13 EMA. It's actually on its way to break the 13. So depending on the strength of this move to the upside, I mean, it's inevitable that we're going to see a retrace back down at least to the 50 EMA on the 1 hour time frame, which will be consistent with price rising up, coming back down, hitting the zone to normalize the intention, and then we'll be expecting price to come back up and form the level 3 peak formation. All right. So it's at this point that they reset the intention. Okay, so here we go. What's it doing now? Is it moving at all? It's starting to make a little bit of movement. Starting to break down now. Recovery of the green vector candle. So the next point should be the 50 EMA at 0.67. That's where they may actually get interested in actually reversing price back up. But look at that move, man. 35%. 50 nearly all the way up to $1 nearly, man. That's crazy. Big move by Alpha, man. Does anybody know why that happened? There may be, yeah, they may come back to recover all the vector candles, okay? But because of the strength of this move, all right, that it may be something that is set for alpha in the long term. So they may have signed a contract, they may have done something. I don't know what it was. Yeah, it could be a pump and dump, Mr. Dub. It could be a pump and dump. That's what we got. We will know it's a pump and dump once they bring it back down to the 50 EMA. If they break through the 50 and then hold at the 200, that'll be fine. But if they break through the 200 and continue lower, then yep, that will be satisfied as a pump and dump. Okay, but we need to wait and see. Can we capitalize from this? Of course we can. We need to work out at what point do we decide to step in, because in the Asian session tonight, they could actually send price even higher. You know, that is a valid thing. It can move. And that's the thing about altcoins, guys. The concept of technical analysis works in some of them, all right? But some of them, because they trade so light, they can explode out of zones and you will not expect it. Yeah? Well, this is what we're trying to... I will check out Baby Dogecoin. I will check that out. Okay? I do want to check out 1 inch as well. I'm going to check 1 inch. To be honest with you guys, this is what I used to do before. And then in the end, we ended up seeing the same thing over and over again. See, now this is good. 1 inch, right? Look at this. It's priced at a decent, well, $2.76. That's a decent price for an altcoin, right? In my opinion. And look at the patterns. Look at the behavior. Look at the retraces. Look at the back, you know, coming back to the 50, rejecting it, coming back. You're seeing a lot of W formations, M patterns, head and shoulders. These are the sort of things you want to look for in an altcoin. All right. If you pull up altcoins that are they're priced so small and you're seeing lots and lots of wicks, stay away from it, guys, because that's just people sitting at their computer. They see a little bit of interest on one coin and then bang, it spikes. They go and buy 10 million of them, spikes price, and then price comes back into the zone. All right, you don't want to get caught up in that. Okay, so looking at this time frame as well on 1 inch, let's jump onto the 4 hourly. This is what I do when I have not looked at any other coin before and I don't know what to expect from it. I just zoom out and see where we currently are. Funnily enough, 1 inch is pretty much copying what Bitcoin was doing ages ago. Remember that big drop to the downside by Bitcoin? 1 inch has done exactly the same. It's formed exactly pretty much the same pattern. Now, the reason why it's done that is because obviously there is a lot of liquidity behind 1 inch. When it's copying the same moves as Bitcoin, it's likely that there's a reasonable amount of liquidity coming into this coin. This is what I understand about it. All right. So right now, if we look at the higher time frame, it is obvious that we can see that beautiful little thing that we call the W formation. So let's roll out a path. We've got 1, 2, 3, and now we're coming out of the zone. All right. Now we've got vector candles on the 4 hour time frame, which are very important. Where on earth is my tool that I have here, man? I can't believe it. It's not even here. I don't believe it. Where is it? Man, I'm so new to this bad boy. I hate it sometimes. Where's the square? I want a rectangle. Where is it? Someone. Where on earth is this rectangle? I don't believe this. Someone say it. Yeah, it is paired to Bitcoin. This is why... Same as path. Okay, same as path. Here we go. There we go. All right, cool. So this is the next pool of liquidity I'm expecting for 1 inch to take based on them actually coming down from this move. As you can see, it's coming back now. All right. I'm ideally waiting for it to rise, come back down. Where is it? Come down from this point, test the 50 and make a move towards the $3.30. That's on the principle that they do continue. All right, as long as the peak formation locks. All right, because you can see stopping volume right here. You've got stopping volume right there, stopping volume right here. All right, we've got another stopping volume candle. Volume is light. It's starting to rise as it comes down, but it then stabilizes and shifts out of the zone. So we are effectively forming the first rise up from the W formation. Now that's this W formation. If we zoom out, of course, there is a much bigger pattern that we can take into consideration. Absolutely huge pattern. If you zoom there, you can see it yourself. You've pretty much got the first leg of a W, rise up to the next point, drop back down. We're now waiting for the bigger pattern. So it is valid to make that claim by coming down, rise, drop. That could be the next point, which funnily enough, you can see the liquidity pool right there. So if I change this, rectangle, we've got another pool right here as well. But that, of course, $6.50, that is going to take a little while for price to do that. We'd need to see Bitcoin moving pretty strongly as well. All right. So that's 1 inch on the 4 hour time frame. Drop down to the 1 hourly. We've got a different story. All right. So zoom in here. What have we got? So rejection, not rejection, but they're just pinning the 800 EMA and now coming back quite strong. Bitcoin is actually now dropping, but it's holding in and around the daily open. So I'm gonna talk about Bitcoin in a sec. All right. But the retracement back down to the 50 EMA on the 1 hour time frame is what you want to see price do before you can effectively set up the next zones that they could actually move away from. All right, so if we look out, you can see the pattern right there. Now, if the pattern does break above the 800 EMA, which is the 4 hourly 200 EMA, happy days. All right. Now, click and hold the path button. Okay. All right, and I'm going to look at Sushi a second because I saw Sushi made some serious movements today. There you go. Now, where's Sushi coming from? That's what's important. Again, not looked at Sushi in a while, so I'm going to pull up the 4 hour time frame. Look at the cost of sushi. It's reasonably priced. Ah, nice. Look at that. Look at this. So we've got first leg, rise up. Second leg, well, I'd say the midpoint is there. Drop down. Second leg is formed, shifting out of the zone. This is a very sharp W formation on the 4-hour time frame. Breaking above the 200 EMA. However, now on the 4-hourly, you can see that they're trying to test the 200 EMA. Granted, this next vector candle may be a point that they actually take out because of today's expansion to the upside. But if we drop on the 1-hour time frame, all right, we can see that the 800 EMA is now being a zone that could be tested, but the 50 EMA is pointing upwards. So ideally, we want price to just stabilize it at this point and just regulate to the side to effectively level out the 50 EMA, and then the 50 by principle should cross over the 800 EMA. That's ideally what we want to see. Now, if this pattern does play out, the points of projection yet again, I mean, we've got what, $11.50 for sushi. Look at that big pool of liquidity right there. And it's not too far away. That's the thing you've got to try and understand. If you see a liquidity point, all right, as long as price is somewhat close to it, there's a good chance it's going to take it. Now, when I say close to it, that would be deemed as a reasonable price or quite close to it. Yep, it's about what? What's it trading at now? $8? Now to go to 10, you know, 10.8 or $11.50. That will be a fair assumption because they just keep coming back and recovering these previous vector candles right here. So they fulfilled that obligation. We're waiting for a retrace back down to hit either the 800 and the 50 and then bounce away from that point to recover these next vector points in the chart. Now, we've got vectors for days, guys. Look at these vectors, man. $14. Look at this vector up here. Like, that is silly vectors. Look at that. You can see that that's where they started opening longs, building their positions. Because remember, guys, these market makers have got the capital to be as irrational as they want. They are building longs as it's going down. They're not the guys that are buying as it's rising. Nah, that's not what market maker does. He can be in the loss for as long as he wants. He can be irrational for as long as he wants. We can't. We've got to be right with our entries, or we've got to be somewhat accurate. All right? Yes, true. It doesn't matter when alts go up 35% in... Oh, sorry. It does matter when an alt goes up 35% in one day. Sorry, I thought you were saying it doesn't. Right, you know what? I'm not going to look at the comments, man, because I'm going to get myself caught up in a little bit of a discussion. And I'll probably just try and start shouting at people when they only meant well. So forgive me. God, man, it feels weird going through altcoins, man. Especially on TradingView. I remember I used to do it not so long ago. I was just flying through these little projections and they were hitting nicely for people, man. All right, and so yeah, with sushi, we're just waiting now for the retrace, because what you got to consider as well, whenever you see price expand away from the moving average, you are most likely going to see a retrace back down. They need to come back to bring price back into the fray. All right, look at every time it comes away from the 50, it comes back down. Look, move away, recovery, stop hunt low, shift out the zone. All right, 50 EMA expands away from it, comes back down. Comes away from the 50, goes straight back to it. Even this small little move right here, look, comes away from it, comes straight back down. All right, use that as the base. That can pretty much be your bread and butter. All right, trading purely off the 50 EMA and the 200 EMA. All right, so for example, say you're going short and you want to go long on the retrace back to the 50. Okay, so you go long here, you ride price to the 50, take half your profit, and you feel like the move has still got strength in it, ride it to the 200 EMA, done. You finish for the day, guys. Take advantage of exploits like that. It's easy. It can be done. You just need to get used to sitting through price action to know at what point is it likely that they're going to come and bounce away from that zone. For example, look at these vector candles right here. You see 1, 2, 3 pumps to the upside. Okay, let me zoom in. So we know at some point they're going to bring price back down. So they start offloading the shorts. Open, close their shorts, open their longs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Where they previously started to open the longs, okay, or sorry, open the shorts from this point, they've moved price away from the 50 EMA, very extended to the downside because they've been moving quite frequently to, like, been pushing price down quite aggressively. Now we want to see price come back towards the 50 EMA. So how do we categorize that it's going to do that? Well, look, price ends up above the 5 EMA on the 1 hour time frame. That's a good sign that they're trying to reverse price back to the 50. Okay, if you were to simply make your decision on this green vector candle coming into play, which plays as a stopping volume candle, you'd be able to get in, set your stop probably at the lows of this this point right here, and wait and see how long it's going to take before you realize a profit. So in the first 2 hours, you got 1, 2, depending on your entry there. You probably, if you were disciplined and you stuck to the 2 hour rule, you probably would have got out of the trade. Okay. But then the next hour it spiked up and then came back down, stop hunt low and rise out of the zone. All right. So it's really, it's touch and go. But ultimately price did come back to the 50 because of how exhausted they moved price back down and recovered these previous vector candles. But I'll go into that in more detail in the previous streams. All right. So that is that right there. All right. There you go. Look, complete recovery, broken down the 800 EMA. It's now going to come and test potentially the 50 EMA. If the intention is to keep price high, they will bounce off the 50 and shift out of the zone. They're doing this all before Sydney, all right? And they're doing it all before the Hong Kong session and the Tokyo session. Why? Because this is the dead gap time. This is when all markets are pretty much closed and the market maker has free roam of moving price and manipulating the liquidity and the spreads to set their range up for the next session. Okay. Yeah, man. Stage chat was good today, man. It was good. Actually, I'm going to have a look at baby Dogecoin because people have asked for it. Is it on here? Is it not on TradingView? Oh, no. It's not on here, is it? Never mind. We'll look at it another day. Let's have a look at our fellow Sheep coin. Very interesting behavior by Sheep. Where's she at? Okay. Does anybody know? I think Sheep swap is actually out right now, or is it in final stages? This is it. That's it. You know what? I'm going to look at ICP. So I've been hearing a lot about ICP. Here we go. Trade's really nice. $46. Very interesting. All right, so I've never looked at this coin before. Let me flip over to the 4 hour time frame. Wow. Where are we coming from? Whoa. What on earth is that? Bro, what was this priced at? What on earth was this priced at? What? Are you serious? Wow. What a coin. What a coin. As soon as it listed, it hit 2,800. Nah, that is crazy. Well, we all know what that means, don't we, guys? Wow, that is unbelievable. Now, there's not that much on the chart for me to say, okay, let's get ready and start taking out vectors. But from the way it's been performing, I mean, boy, that is nuts. They got massive backing, yeah? Well, you know what? Now they've got it to a point, so they're going to build the positions like no tomorrow. Look at that. They're going to start running this back up. Very extended away from the moving averages. All right, look at the 200 EMA. All right, look at that. It's missing. I love these charts when there's nothing on them and we're still trying to find a projection. Let's have a look. Here we go. So they've effectively bounced from the lows. Red candle, blue candle, which is principally the red candle, green candle formation, shifts out of the zone, comes above the 50 EMA. Now it's holding above that point. Okay. I mean, can you exploit this? Of course you can. You drop onto the 1 minute time frame. It's free roam for you there, man. It's crazy. And it's priced really well as well. That's what I like about it. So I may even consider scalping ICP. I might actually have a little stab in it. Stab at it. It all depends. I'm going to see. I'll keep an eye on this bad boy and see about these projection zones right here. Now that is the one area right there that I'd be very interested in. 101. Very interested. Yeah. Okay. Next one. Let's have a look at Aave. Aave, whatever. What is Aave? Oh. Okay, see, you're starting to notice a pattern, yeah? Pretty much all the altcoins have moved up in the same fashion. Okay, and it's always the expensive ones, isn't it? Funny that is, isn't it? Yeah? All near enough, every coin that we've looked at right now is at the 800 or the 200 EMA. We're trying to get towards it. Okay, now we've got a pattern down here. This is ideally what you want to see from a W formation. Okay, you can see the first leg has come all the way down. All right, so check this out. First leg, price comes all the way down. Then you're waiting for price to come back up, which is what it does. Why on earth is TradingView doing that? Come back down again and then rise up. Level 1, drop. Rise up now. Where's it going to finish? Rise up, level 2. What are we expecting next? We are now expecting retrace level 2. Continuation to the upside. Yeah, rise level 1, drop, rise level 2, drop, rise level 3. And the only thing that's left is the peak formation to reset the intention. Drop up, drop down. And they could go into a pattern from here based on the strength. Because we have seen this. We've seen M patterns appear and then drop one level. And then they go straight into a W formation and then make a continuation to the upside. That's what we have seen a lot of in the previous streams. Take off magnet. Ah, that's how you do it. Good lad. Okay then. Let's have a look at Matic. If I've said that correctly. Again, is that... Yeah. See, look. Cheaper coin. Can you see how it wicks up and down, up and down? Yes, it shows like it's trading in a decent range, but it's actually holding above its 800 EMA. That's interesting. Very interesting. A lot of accumulation in this zone. It may actually come down lower because we do have this point in the chart. Where is it? We've got this area here of liquidity that may be seen. We may see that point, 0.6. I don't know. It would need to hold above the 800 EMA. On the basis that the 800 EMA breaks, then that would be the next point of interest for Matic, because we have to look at the bigger pattern as well. Look at this. You've pretty much got M formation up here, right? Yep. So we now go down level 1, rise, drop, level 2, rise up, waiting now to see if level 3 forms. Will level 3 form at this point here and then make a move back up? Will it do that before it actually makes a move? Who knows? Okay. But we need to wait and see. Oh, back in the days. Look at that. Happy Days projection point. Back in the days when we were watching Matic. Look at that. Man, it's been a while. Jeez. Okay, then. What else have we got? Cake. Yes. We all like cake, don't we, guys? Here we go. Cake. Cake has taken a little bit of a battering. But it's been a beautiful pattern to watch. Look at that. Double up. M formation, drop level 1, drop again, drop level 2, down, drop level 3, peak formation. Is that possibly what is happening right now? Let's have a closer look. So you can see now you've got pretty much, it's a bit of a weird pattern to be honest with you. And it's stayed within the zone actually. Let me delete that. See, very weird. Look at that. W1 up, come down, and it's just sideways action. Looking at the actual pair itself. Showing resistance at the 200 EMA, because when this green vector candle spikes above it and comes back down, a lot of people got trapped into going long at that point. The candle after confirmed that it was a bit of a stop hunt rise. They brought price back down, and now they're just stabilizing at the 200 EMA. We could see price come down to the 50 again and make a move up higher. We've got quite a few liquidity pools that Cake could actually take out, which will be which is, you know, points of interest in the chart for you guys. So you've got this zone right here, which will take us to 18. We've also got the big pool right here, man. That is a crazy area. 25. That is nuts. And then, of course, we've got all this liquidity up here. Look at that zone right there. Brings us between 36 and 32. That zone right there. Absolutely huge. That's all on the basis that this area holds. As long as this area holds and price breaks above the 200 EMA, that will be a valid assumption that they are looking to send price higher. All right, but the whole sentiment across the board needs to start moving, of course, to the upside. All right, let's have a look at Cardano. ADA, here we go. Now this coin, right, I remember back in the day, look at these, we're projecting on ADA. She was such a boring coin to look at, and then we don't pay any attention and she starts making interesting moves. Now the thing is with ADA itself, it's not actually gone anywhere. All right, look at that. This is like wicked out, spiking up and down, and they're vector candles that step in just to move it higher. All right, you can see the indecision in behind the coin itself from all these wicks that are appearing. I want to see nice clean trades. Yeah, I want to see nice movement, but ADA's like it's just the odd one out. I'm sorry, you know. Yes, I'm going to look at algo in a split second. So ADA itself, now ADA's a little bit tricky. I don't know why, but it appears to be a tricky coin to trade. All right, we can establish clear liquidity pools. All right, clear zones where they could actually send price to. Okay, they're holding the 800 EMA. Now, last time that they kept doing this across the board, price continued from that point. This big intention. Now, what's important is this. Look at every green candle bar this candle here. Okay, has been pretty much recovered. So stop hunt rise, recovered. Rise, slight recovery, moved away from the zone. Granted, they could actually bring price back down to test. So by this token, they could actually bring price back down towards the 800 EMA to solidify the previous liquidity here and bounce away from it. All right? Because the vector candle down here, which behaved as stopping volume, has already been recovered. But there is a small amount of liquidity right there. Are they going to send price back down there, or had they opened the positions that they had here and effectively offset the loss from down here and made the game back up here? So it's just a game of chess right now with ADA. Very important. But we will only know once they break below the 50 EMA. The 50 EMA is a base place for you to consider your trades. If price is above the 50 EMA, you're only looking for prices to go long to the upside. If price is below the 50 EMA, you should only really consider shorts because price's momentum is to the downside. Now, of course, what's important is the peak formation. If this, by the principle of the pattern itself, is a W formation, which is a little bit off shape, but if this is a W formation, then we are only interested in longs. Why? Because we always trade away from the peak, because the peak effectively holds the zone to move price away from the zone. Okay, that is the base point. It's the peak formation, the area where they manipulated price to trap traders into believing that price is either going to continue from here to the downside. They reverse price back up and take out the stops and the liquidation points for the guys who went short in the first instance. Then they rose price, came back down to reignite the actual concept of price going down again. So they give the 50 EMA the resistance that they think that the retail trader believes is a point where price is going to come away from. So they start getting busy, bring price all the way back down, get the traders committed to the shorts, and then they move away from that point. But the thing is, for me, the second leg for this W formation isn't long enough. All right, I'm not really too keen on looking at a coin with a W formation like that. Ideally, I'd want price to come back down to this point to fulfill this previous liquidity pool and then come away from the zone. But that's not what's happened here. So pay attention to ADA, keep an eye out on it, because as long as price stays above the 50, it's happy days. All right then, what else did someone say? VC Shed, you've got a long position since June, the 27th of June, quarter to 11. Long built position still live. So PC Shed is in a long position on Aave. Let's have a look. since the 27th of June. Surgical patterns right there, my friend. That's good news for me. So someone's already in the trade based on the concept of this W formation. All right. Wonderful. That is brilliant, PC Shed. Well done. So PC Shed is still in a live trade. So by that token, you're still holding it. Tells me you are too also in line with another rise to the upside. Okay, because there is one more level for price to move up to. All right. So I'll see you at the top, bro. If it goes wrong, blame Mike. Yes, that is a long-term trade. What's the best way to identify which coins move along with Bitcoin and which move irrespective away from Bitcoin movement? Is there a theory on how coins move and identify? There is this concept that Bitcoin pretty much mimics what everything else is going to do. Okay? So, if you look at when Ethereum was moving, naturally all the altcoins were moving too. When Ethereum started to drop, that's when all the altcoins started to drop as well. But then when Bitcoin starts to drop, it's like the catalyst for everything. Because if they're taking their money away from the biggest coin in the game, naturally, what else is everything going to do? Yeah? But right now, today's trading has been very interesting. I think there's going to be some news coming out. There's a reason why they are holding price. Okay? I'm going to get into Bitcoin in a short moment. All right? VET. Let's have a look at VET. Again, another pattern. There you go. W formation. Here we go. See, now this is a valid W for me. Okay. Now, look at this. Initiate the shorts. Send in price lower. And already I can tell that there's divergence on this chart. All right? Because look at the green vectors that are appearing. So that means it's closing higher as it's going lower. All right? If I add a TDI, I should see divergence. I should see it. Green vector outside the volatility band right there. Right there outside the volatility band. Back inside the volatility band, divergence right there. Quite small, but it is on the 4-hour time frame. You drop on the hourly, you might see a little bit clearer. Here we are. There you go. Outside the volatility band, outside, back inside, still. Well, that's afterwards, but there's the divergence right there. Okay. So that is very interesting for a V-chain. Okay then, so here's the W formation. Vector candles all the way to the downside. They stipulate the intention that they do want to send price lower. Down it goes, traps the retail trader to go short, instantaneously reverses back up and hits the stops to get the liquidity to initiate the longs that they had built by sending price down lower. Remember, you can only sell if someone's buying and you can only buy if someone is selling. And that someone is the market maker. So when price is dropping, you know that the market maker is getting his longs filled at lower prices. Naturally, when price is rising, you know he's getting his shorts filled at a higher price because he anticipates to send it down so they can close them at a lower point later on. They bring price back up to the 50 EMA and they trigger the retail trader into believing that this here is a double top. Okay? And it's like an M formation. Now, we could naturally trade this. I do trade the pattern development most of the time because I'm waiting for this pattern all the time to come out. I've trained my eye to wait for this. I know what the criteria is for this pattern to develop, so I may as well try and exploit it. Okay? They bring price up towards the 50 EMA, hits this area here. Some guys would actually draw this as support and resistance point and say, yeah, that is the resistance point now. All right? They will trade and start opening shorts because it's rejected this point right here. All the while, the market maker knows that he's trapping retail traders to make them believe that price is going to continue lower again. So, in one more instance, what he does is he triggers the shorts by initiating climatic volume in this area here, which creates the second leg. All right? Retail trader goes short and he's committed that the move from this move to the downside is going to happen again here. He's happy with a little bit of the drawdown. Market maker brings it to the 50 again, pulls it back down. The retail trader saying, yeah, baby, we're going to go down again. And then out of nowhere, shifts out of the zone, hits the liquidity points, hits the stops, throws off all the guys who went short here, takes out the liquidations. Those guys are struggling. They don't know what to do. They think it's just a false move, and they hold their positions, and before you know it, market maker completely takes out everyone's positions and starts working the previous orders that he built to the downside and starts closing the longs up here. All right, so then from that token, you've got the first rise, level 1. Now it's dropping down, stabilizing in this zone right here, and now we are waiting to see if this stopping volume candle right here will come into play. All right, Bitcoin starting to move, so are all the alts right now, okay? Which means I'm going to go flip over to Bitcoin in a short second, but my projection for VeChain is as follows. So short-term wise, we will likely recover this vector candle right here. It's a possibility that we come back towards this point. Now, the reason being is because as long as price stays above the daily open on VeChain right here, then the stopping volume by that token will be initiated. The big red vector candle here fails to break down lower, triggers the shorts. They induce them one more time, bring price all the way back up, hit their orders. Some poor soul went short here, and he's in a pretty sticky situation right now, hoping that it's going to come back down lower. Granted, it may, but the general consensus for this is to go back up and hit the 0.8 zone, 0.08 zone. Now, on the basis that they do come out of this rise level 1 to the downside, we are expecting the 800 EMA to be taken on the principle that they do recover this previous point. Okay, because we are, if the principle stands, in a W formation, we're rise level 1, retrace, rise level 2. Okay, so level 1 effectively starts here, level 2 starts here, level 2 ends here, and then level 3 starts here, and then level 3 finishes up there, and then you've got the M formation. That is pretty much where we are expecting price to go. All right, so if I just draw out my points, ideally 110, yeah, well, yeah, 0.10, and then we've got the next point, which is the level 1 rise, which is 0.09. Okay, my Ian Vape, how you doing, man? Is that Mylan or my Ian Vape? What's that? All right then, now I'm gonna look at one more coin. Okay, don't worry, I'll look at XRP. I've already looked at Algo, haven't I? Haven't I looked at Algo? Algorand, here we go. Interesting. Tricky, but tradable. Very tricky coin. If you zoom out and really pay attention on what it's doing, their intention is obvious. It's like they're selling off, you know, they're opening longs, quickly pump price back up to avoid it from releasing liquidity down here. Then they come down again, little pump up there to make sure it stays in the zone. Massive sell-off, shift back up again. What are we likely to see happen next? Testing of the 50 EMA. Now the thing is yes, there is a cycle here. It's a very small cycle. We've got a little W right there, rise up, level 1, rise up, level 2, go straight down. Level 1 drop, level 2 rise, level 3 peak formation, small W formation right there if you can see it. Now it's just trading up sideways that way. See, this is what I don't like, when there's no clear definitive direction. I mean, look, it's not really gone anywhere. It's not doing anything. But there's a lot of backing with this coin. That's one thing I know. I've been reading into Algo. Check it out. Elon. Is Elon talking? You know what? I am going to look at Alice because I've actually seen people talking about this. Oh, hello, Alice. Nice price. Okay. Now, what you got to try and see is where you see a clear definitive pattern, all right, on other coins. Any other coins that you're looking at in the altcoin market, if they're not showing you a clear pattern, right, stay away from it. I can force a pattern onto this. Easy. I can say that that is a W formation. Okay. At what point did they come out of it? Well, right there. Drop down, level 1. Rise, level 2. Retrace, level 3. It'll be a very short-lived move. But it needs to close above the 800 EMA. It needs to test it and close above it. Right now, it is trading away from it. Okay. Hey man, you got to try vape. You just kind of want to heat a black currant. I won't regret, I swear. I got like 100 empty bottles laying all over the house. Well, that's telling me there's none left, bro. If you're taxing it and smoking it all for yourself, how am I going to get hold of it? Okay then. So, yeah, so try keep that in mind, guys. Yeah, when you're looking at coins, if you're not seeing a clear pattern on the altcoins and then you're siphoning through other altcoins and you're not seeing a clear pattern there, try and keep away from that and stick to the pattern that is very clear, because then it's a controlled movement. Okay. What's it? Yeah, most of the coins have been done, so just have a look at it. What else have we got? You know what I'm going to look at? I'm going to look at BNB. Our good old friend BNB. What's he saying? See, BNB. Just look what we were trading just a second ago. What did we have up? Alice. Yeah? BNB is looking exactly the same. No clear pattern as such. Try and improve the chances of a trade playing in your favor. All right? What you want to see, the way you're going to determine if there is a clear movement, is when it comes away from the moving averages. All right? Especially the 50. You want it to break above the 800, form a pattern from that point. Granted, you could trade this, but it's all down to preference, really. And if you are struggling to try and find a pattern, pull up a line chart and see if you can see anything definitive there. Drop on even to the higher time frame. What can you see? I mean, you can see a massive W right there. You can see it forming. Look at the stopping volume right there, that green candle at the lows. Absolutely huge. That is a huge stopping volume candle. And look at this for stopping volume. Look at that. Look at the size of that. Stopping volume. Climatic behavior. Spike in price. Hitting the orders. The poor souls that went short down here in the same trade, they probably got spiked out. Their liquidation points, they kept on adding and adding and adding. It just kept on going all the way back up. My advice to you is, when you see price dropping down so aggressively, all right, and you want to consider placing a trade, all right, wait for the climax of the move to finish, because the return back up will be just as aggressive. When they get aggressive and they move price in such a sharp fashion, all right, look, 3 pushes to the low. This candle was a vector, and then they reversed it all the way back up. It was a purple vector, and then they reversed it back up. You know that if you went long at the close of that candle, you would have been sitting nicely. All right, on the 4-hour time frame, my friends. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 moves up, man. There was no stopping this bad boy. Yeah, and that is just the first leg of the W formation, my friends. That's the first leg on the 4-hour time frame. Look at it. It's valid to make the assumption that price is going to come up, drop, and slowly come out from the zone. Look at what the stopping volume candle says. All right. Trap the retail trader to commit to the lows. Make them believe that we're going to go even lower. And then spike price back up. It's all psychological, man. It's all psychological. All right. Check Shiba. I have checked Shiba. Right, listen, I'm going to check. This is what I'm going to do. Okay. I'm going to consider the altcoins every other day. All right. That's what I'm going to commit to with you guys. I'm going to look at Bitcoin one day. Then I'm going to look at the altcoins the next. We're going to get into the habit of doing so because I know people are sick and tired of me talking about Bitcoin and Ethereum, although that's where the money's at. But I must cater for everybody. So I'm going to be looking at the altcoins more in the future now, guys, because we used to do it. So there's no reason why we can't continue to do it. Okay. All right. I'm going to go over onto MetaTrader. All right. We're going to look at Bitcoin. We're going to look at Our Lady Ethereum and the Crazy Goose XRP. All right. Hey trader, have you condensed all these strategies into a course or where we could find all detailed tutorial on this and patterns and this style of trading? Okay, for the record, how many people are completely new to this stream? I've not asked this in a long time. All right, how many people, it's the first time passing through to this stream? Please press 1. Three, you know. Seeing a couple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1. Okay then. All right then. Cool. No worries. No worries. Okay then. Here we go. Right. Let's flip over to our comfort zone. All right. Let's have a look at Bitcoin on MT4. Now you're going to get into some really tricky stuff. Here we go. Get ready for the eyesores and the liquidations. But we're going to do a little different thing tonight, guys. I'm switching it up. All right. We're going to look at the king. We're going to pay attention to the queen. And then we're going to look at the joker. I know PC Shen ain't going to like that. All right, then. Here we go. Now this is my world. This platform here is my world. Okay, I've been using this platform for all the new guys. Yes, the eyesores, but I'm gonna switch it up a little bit. Okay. Now, this is what we're gonna consider here. Okay. Right now, from today, okay, Bitcoin has done a very interesting thing. All right. She's done very well to hold at this daily open right here. Okay. Very good job at holding it. We need to pay attention to the pins to the low. All right. Now, these are not rejection points because conventional wisdom will say that this is where the market didn't favor prices. Of course it favored price because there's orders down there. They just wanted to take the liquidity and move back up to hit the liquidations and the stops to fulfill their commitment in and around this zone. All right. Mad love there, Gladiator. Nice to have you here, bro. 1 pin, 2, 3 pin, 4, 5 pin. Guess what? Next pin, no more. That means that we could actually come back up. However, are they finished pinning this zone? All right. The moving averages on Bitcoin today have been stagnated. Nothing's been happening. They've been testing the M2 pivot point. There is potential for price to come back down to this zone right here, which will be a vector candle. If we look, zoom out, look right there. Now, it did come down at some point. Tried it one more time. But what do you see on the 15-minute time frame? What were we talking about a moment ago on BNB? Look at it. Well, slowing down here. Let me close off Discord. There we go. What's that? There you go. Stopping volume. Happy days. Now, if this stopping volume candle by principle holds, then that's good news. But what's even better news is this. The day finished positive. That's what's really important. This is the daily open line. Okay. Now this is today's daily open. So Bitcoin opened today at 33,840. That was the open. It closed at 33,823. That is huge. The margin is small, but the impact is massive. Because look at what's been going on today. We had a stop hunt rise earlier and then it completely dropped. The Asian session from last night induced a stop hunt rise. Again, the UK Brinks triggered a stop hunt and then completely sent price down lower. They've been building. UK and the US have been building longs. Now we're going to wait and see if the Asian session is going to send price higher. That's what's important. All right. We're going to know if their intention is to send price higher purely on the principle of the stopping volume candle right here. Problem is 50 EMAs flat, 200 EMAs flat, 800 EMAs flat. Psychological low is in sight. There's no clear direction. All right. However, let's flip over to the new chart. This chart, my friends, is completely dedicated to liquidity pools that I have drawn out that we're going to use as a point of interest in the streams. Okay, because I know it can get a little bit chaotic looking at my charts and trying to work out what is going on. So every day we will come to this chart and we're going to highlight the key pools of liquidity. Okay, now it has been interesting. All right, if you watched yesterday's stream, we had we had the liquidity pool taken out from last night's stream. Okay, please go and watch that video. All right, because it recovered the liquidity pool right here from last night's stream. All right, that's really important to observe. All right, we now have this base. So by that token, we are of the impression that Bitcoin may look to come back up towards the 34,852 zone. Only if this point in the chart holds. So I need price to come above the 50 EMA and the 200 EMA on the 15-minute time frame. All right. And do exactly the same on the 1 hour time frame. As you can see right there. Okay. 1, 2, 3 pins to the low. It's a range. Look at the vector candles selling off but not going anywhere. Selling off at the high but not going anywhere. Okay, we're in a level zone right now. It can go either direction, but based on the concept of the liquidity that's nearby, they may hold this zone, tap the liquidity points below down here to effectively move price back up. On that principle, if Bitcoin does come up towards this first liquidity pool, happy days. I'm not going to be looking at anything further up yet, because a move like that, well, something massive would have to happen in the market. Okay, but this is where I'm projecting Bitcoin to go to next. It's the 34, between the 34,881 and 34,607. That will be a clear indication that they are going to try and work the next liquidity pool, which is 35,723 and 35,430. Okay, these next liquidity pools up here. Okay, this yellow pool is based on liquidity. I can't even say it, man. What's going on? The liquidity pool on the 15-minute time frame. All right, that's why that's there. All right, but you can see Bitcoin has got a lot of money to come back to. Remember, when the market is dropping, it's because the market maker is open longs at lower prices. So he's giving money away. At what point is he going to come back and get it back off the guys that he's been giving it to? All right. Liquidity. Crypto maniac, bro. Shut up, man. You've been on my case all day, bruv. Oh, JP Morgan claiming Bitcoin's going to rise again. Well, it was only today they said it was going to drop. My God. All right, then. Now, Ethereum. Let's look at Ethereum. See, out of the two, Ethereum is technically the best coin. Technically the best coin. It's the only one that's above the 800 EMA out of the two. It's the only one above the 200. It's the only one above the 50. And it's the only one above the psychological high and low for the week. Bitcoin, it's got too much work to do, man. It's not even above the 50. All right? That's on the 15-minute time frame. I drop onto the 1 hour time frame. It's even worse. It's not even above the 5 and the 13 EMA. What's going on, Bitcoin, man? The Queen takes control. Ethereum, pinning the 50 EMA. Very strong behavior. Okay? It's closed so strong away from its daily open. Ethereum today didn't even test its daily open. It completed the intention in the Asian session. They just held the 50 EMA. And the 800 EMA is acting as a huge area for the market makers to keep price above that zone. All right? By the concept of the M2 pivot, the M4 zone shall be seen. As long as Ethereum stays above the 50 EMA. That is what we always have to take into consideration. Next projection point for Ethereum is 2,410, 2,371. Why? Because that is the next pool of liquidity that we are expecting price to get to. Let me just change something up here. Here we go. Look at that. That's the next zone right there. Then we've got the absolute zone right here, which is the 2,000 and yeah, nearly 2,500 point. If Ethereum gets back to 2,500, then we're going to be going into this area here. All right. But we will see retraces from this point, guys. Most definitely going to see retraces in and around this zone. All right. But as always, anything can happen and you have to accept that as well. It's all good sitting here pulling off projections and waiting for them to play out and not paying attention to the fact that they could actually drop price. The only reason why I'm not paying attention too much to the lows because I'm not seeing vector candles that are likely to be recovered yet. Granted, that could be a little zone right there that they could recover. Drop onto the 15-minute time frame. You can see a couple of other vector points that they may recover. Look at this point right here. Look at that point and look at that point. 1, 2, 3 zones that they could actually send price back down to. For all we know, they could trade all the way up to the upside and come back to these points later on. The question is, when are they going to finish with this development of this zone right here? Will they send price higher? Well, we need to pay to play to know whether or not we're going to be right or wrong. All right? XRP. XRP. I mean... Okay then, now, wait a second guys, I've got something for you. I'm going to look into, firstly, make sure you head over to the projections channel, all right, because that is effectively what this stream is, but summarized in about 10-15 minutes, all right? So, I pinned it to the chat, should see that up there. Go join that channel. Happy days. You'll get 10-15 minute videos. Oh shit, I've just removed someone. Oh shit. What have I done? Excuse me. Excuse me. Man. I've done really well to not swear on the streams. There we go. Pinned it to the chat and everything that you need is in the link to in the description, guys. Alright then. So, XRP, sorry. Right. Now, of course, XRP has got a lot of stuff happening behind the scenes with the SEC. All right? Not bad for a coin that's getting sued. You know? It's still got a W formation right here. Yeah? This is level 1 still. I remember I was in a dollar-yen trade. And I was waiting for a level 2 zone to break out. Okay? And they didn't move that for 2 weeks, man. This behavior that you're seeing by XRP, dollar yen was doing exactly the same thing. All right? 2 weeks she stayed in a zone like this. That could happen to XRP. I mean, look, for every green box, there's a day. 1, 2, 3. Weekend. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Weekend 11, 12, 13. So that's 2 weeks and she's still stuck in this range. Okay? That's what we really need to pay attention to the idea that if they're holding in such a tight zone, This is still level 1. We are projecting that XRP is due to rise out from this point, make a move to the upside, come down, form a level 2 consolidation, bounce, take out the 800 EMA and form a pattern up here, and then start all over again and try and work higher. You can see the next pools of liquidity on XRP are in and around the 80 to 79 mark, but she's got a lot of work to get through. Right now, you can see that she's testing effectively the psychological low. Here she is. Psychological low is in sight. Pin to the low. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pins to the low. Absorbing liquidity, not going anywhere else. All right? That's what we really need to try and focus on. Remember, these moves develop. When it breaks out, it's because there's been a development of the move. Short term, it's likely that if this zone continues the way it goes, we should see XRP come back up towards 66 and then 66.7. Yeah, 66.7. Yeah? Wonderful. For any of my Forex guys. That is crazy. All right then. Just for my Forex guys, in the Forex channel today, the Forex projections video from last night, we understood that dollar yen is still waiting to form a cycle to the downside, and we said that it would come down towards the 110,600 mark, and it did that, which is the 2 times ADR. I'm expecting 3 cycles to the downside with dollar yen. All right. I do have live trades with dollar yen. I entered here, my shorts from that point, added again, and then added earlier on today. So effectively building my shorts to the downside. I am anticipating once we come back down to the 3 times ADR on that basis, then I will look to close my position. I could actually start building longs whilst I'm dropping, because there's hedge mode automatically triggered on IC markets. All right. So that's a good thing about this platform. But I'm just going to wait and see what happens next. Because the reason why this has pretty much happened, of course, you can see the vector candles to the left of the chart have been fully recovered. We've got another vector pull down here on the 15-minute time frame. And dollar just keeps on, has been rising non-stop. But then if you look at our dear friend gold, okay, we also said she would hit the 800 EMA and take this projection zone of, where is she at? 1800. Which was down here, and there's the 1800 mark. She hit the 800 EMA, just shy of it, hit stopping volume, and then reversed, which is why now you're seeing dollar yen coming back up ever so slightly. So just look at the correlation there. Gold rising, dollar drops. I traded dollar yen for a good 6 years purely on that principle, and it worked pretty well for us, but sometimes you can get caught out. You can get caught out. Okay then, cool. Right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you've enjoyed that. All right, if you are new, feel free to subscribe. If not, I hope you guys have enjoyed what has been provided here. Okay, please join the projection channel. Okay, MKR chart will help everyone experience Philodimor. Being serious. Thank you very much, Chris. Keith, the MKR chart. What's on the MKR chart? It will help them experience Philodimor. Okay. Okay. Let me just flip over to the MKR chart a split second, guys. Quite interesting behavior. Notable volumes at the lows. Quite an interestingly priced currency pair. We've got the next liquidity point right here. Price does need to break above. It needs to hold this zone. It's trading tight. You want to wait for the 50 to cross over the 200 on the 4 hour for you to even consider anything. If you're going to take this on a long-term trade. Testing the daily open. So controlled move to the downside. Drop on a lower time frame. Barely any vector candles, man. Look at that. Look, vector candle there, liquidity taken. And we've got these 3 vector candles right there. Sharp move up, sharp move down. Back to normality. Possibility they could send price there, but we will only know based on what they do at this point right now. I think that's a bit of an extended move to the downside. Looking at the RSI itself. Oh, divergence. Happy days. Cool. All right then, guys. Mad respect to all of you. Thank you very much. Patrons, tomorrow, usual time, 9:30, just slightly before and after the Brinks box of the UK session. We're going to roll out again. I hope you've enjoyed tonight's little setup. We have changed it up a little bit. Okay, just start looking at the altcoins just to cater for those who are involved heavily with altcoins. All right. And will be helpful to see you find the psychological high and low without the indicator on MT4. Well, how would I find that? You know? Oh, in that base. Oh, okay. Yeah. I see what you're saying. Well, what we do, if you're going to do that, here you go. So, if you want to try and find the psychological high and low, okay, on MT4, you just need to understand where the market opens on the time frame that you are within. So, if I've got this broker on my MT4 set for Moscow B, okay, and it's usually at about 10 p.m., all right? So, if you look here, this is the open, okay? Now, 10 p.m. Sunday night is when the first high and is when the start of the actual psychological high and low is printed, but it happens beforehand, because if you look, it appears there. Where is it? So we got the third there, and then it rolls onto the 4th. There is it. There. 10 o'clock. That is when the psychological high and low forms. 10 o'clock Sunday night. You don't see it on the chart straight away. It happens afterwards. And it's always 4 hours after, isn't it? Steve Murray says that. Okay? Because it formed here at 4 o'clock. And then 6 hours later, that's it. 6 hours later, it shows it on the charts itself. So 10 o'clock GMT. Okay, that is when it starts on a Sunday, 10 o'clock GMT, because the old psychological high and low will still be on the chart, and then at 10 o'clock Sunday, it will reappear. So you would see this point here. So you can't really guess, well, you can guess it, but on the actual MT4 itself, draw off the 4th of July at 5 minutes past 12. Okay, sorry, no. Of the 3rd of July at 5 minutes past 4 in the afternoon. Okay, draw that. Okay, 1 week from there. So that would be on a Saturday, would it be? Yeah, on the Saturday. No, it would be Sunday early morning. My God, that's confusing. That is really confusing. It just takes the high and low. I'll just stick to using the indicator. Is it the same for all crypto coins? From my understanding, yes. Yeah, from my understanding, it's the same for all crypto coins. They all start... Well, actually, tell a lie, okay? Remember, IC Markets is an electronic central network. It's a different setup, okay? It's a completely different setup. So that's what you need to take into consideration. An electronic central network itself is effectively the bank's feed, all right, where they pump all the prices into one server. That server comes and grabs the liquidity, matches it, and then pumps it straight out. Okay, this is ECN network. For Forex, it's the Asian high and low from the Sunday to Monday. Perfect. That's it. Yeah, for Forex, it's the first Asian high and low. Steve Marin not coming back for for tomorrow in Cleveland. Sorry, feeling good right now. Sorry, feeling good right now. Later. Okay then. All right then. Yeah, there's so much to take into consideration with it. What it is, it all depends on where you are in the world. You need to visually see it print for you to understand. So come Sunday night, GMT UK time, wherever you are in the world, open up MT4. Keep an eye on the psychological high and low. 10 p.m. GMT. The market will stop at 10 p.m. and then 5 minutes later it will reopen again, and you will then see the new formation of the psychological high and low, which hasn't been printed in the previous candles but gets printed once the market opens, based on Moscow session. Sorry, Moscow server. Man, I'm losing my words, man. I've been streaming too long. Yeah. Bitcoin rejecting the 50 EMA. What's it doing? It's not even tested it. It's very strong behavior what Bitcoin's done here. It's very strong. We're going to know if they're going to hold this point, because they did exactly the same over here, and they did exactly the same here, and they did exactly the same here before they decided to shift out of the zone. Look at this Asian session here. Spike low, pin, 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 and then shift out of the zone, and happy days. All right. Okay, guys, listen. Mad love and respect to all of you. Okay. And I will be speaking to you all tomorrow. Have a wonderful evening, and thank you very much for passing through. Mad love and respect, guys. Peace.